In the boardroom, a junior executive raises his voice, fighting to be heard. The senior partner leans back, silent, not disinterested, but composed. At a cafe, a heated debate flares. One man rants, recites numbers and facts. The other stares, saying nothing. The room eventually listens to the one who didn't speak. Across history and into the present, we see the same pattern. The more someone needs to be seen as powerful, the less they are. So what does it mean when someone chooses not to speak? What power lives in silence? Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's greatest swordsman, may hold the answer. But not in his victories. In his restraint. Do nothing which is of no use. In this video, we'll dissect the anatomy of silent strength through history, psychology, and timeless human behavior to expose how it shapes what we believe, how we act, and what we think is our own. Most people never notice it. But those who do begin to see the structure behind the stage. If you're ready to stop being directed and start seeing the script, keep watching. Musashi's strategy was forged in blood, but his weapon was not the sword. It was attention. He understood what most overlook. That noise is vulnerability. Silence is direction. Emptiness is not absence, it is capacity. In the Book of Five Rings, he speaks of the void. Not as someone who sees life as meaningless, but as someone who sees silence as a form of focus and preparation. For Musashi, the void is the condition of pure readiness. No expectation, no attachment, no performance. In the void is virtue and no evil. This is not spiritual poetry. It is psychological warfare. Ask yourself, when was the last time you chose not to respond? Do you interpret silence as weakness or as intent? Musashi didn't speak because he had nothing to prove. The more you explain, the more you reveal. Silence is not absence of thought. It is thought without leakage. Musashi won 62 duels. Not by being faster, but by being unreadable. He cultivated formlessness. Not technique. Not flair. But a presence without pattern. Work out the mind of others and make sure that they cannot read yours. This is not just combat. It's all human interaction. Relationships, politics, negotiations alike. In strategy, noise signals intention. And intention can be mapped. But once you are mapped, you are predictable. He understood timing, not as movement, but as the pause before movement. The silence before the storm. How often do you speak because silence makes you uncomfortable? Musashi built his life around discomfort. That's why he controlled it. Silence wasn't just his weapon. It was his armor. A disturbed man speaks. A centered man observes. Musashi teaches that the strong mind is not reactive. It absorbs, reflects, acts only when action is required. He wrote, "The high-spirited mind and the lethargic mind are both weaknesses. Emotional display is a form of broadcast. It signals your state. If others can see it, they can use it." So Musashi trained the exterior to be unreadable. Not robotic, but still. The mind behind the silence was relentlessly awake. When was the last time you watched your own impulses rise without obeying them? To Musashi, self-mastery was not in victory, but in invisibility. In becoming immune to the bait of noise. There is a reason the loudest voice in the room rarely commands the room. Musashi understood the paradox. The less you assert control, the more control you have. He didn't declare his strength. He let others feel it. "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world," he wrote. This isn't humility. It's hierarchy. In modern leadership, the same holds true. The executive who listens commands more than the one who constantly instructs. The negotiator who pauses owns the frame. Silence disorients. It shifts weight. It makes the other speak first. And the one who speaks first gives the game away. When nothing is declared, everything is possible. Musashi's power wasn't just in action, but in the unknown. His late arrival to duels, his relaxed posture, his unreadable gaze. He said, "Appear weak when you are strong." He was not unpredictable by chance. He engineered unpredictability through silence. The same principle applies today. The person who discloses less gains more leverage. Mystery is not about withholding information. It's about creating space for projection. Others fill the silence with their own fear, fantasy, or underestimation. And when they act on that illusion, you act. Musashi spoke of honesty, yet deceived his enemies. He praised humility, yet declared himself champion of the realm. He condemned formality, yet taught discipline. These are not hypocrisies. They are dualities. True strength lives in paradox. It conceals itself until it must be revealed. It adapts without abandoning form. It breaks rules without abandoning principle. To live like Musashi is to master contradiction. To be both storm and silence, knife and shadow, presence and withdrawal. What contradictions have you refused to hold? What strength have you lost by choosing just one side? Musashi did not invent the silent archetype. He embodied it. From Zen monks to Stoic generals, the strong have long known. Stillness is not the absence of force. It is force calibrated. In Zen, enlightenment is not achieved through speech but silence. In Bushido, honor is not proven by boasting but by restraint. Musashi's silence was cultural, but also strategic. He fused the two. And the result? An archetype that echoes through time. The warrior who walks alone, who speaks rarely, who acts precisely. Today, that archetype survives. In the strategist, the calm parent, the CEO who lets others talk first, the rebel who chooses anonymity over applause. This is not about swords. It is about systems of influence. In a world that rewards the loud, silence has become subversive. But here's the quiet truth. Silence is the only true control you have. Reaction is always a loss of position. Speaking prematurely is revealing your map. Musashi's model applies everywhere. In negotiations, wait, watch, let others fill the space. In leadership, speak less, observe more, move only when needed. In conflict, don't justify, don't escalate, act or don't. How often do you explain yourself? And who are you trying to convince? In his final years, Musashi entered a cave. He had nothing left to prove. There in silence he wrote, "The way is in training, not in speech, not in teaching, in lived mastery." He didn't need to speak, but he did. Once, to leave a map, and then he disappeared. Musashi's legacy is not technique. It is timing, psychology, restraint. His strength wasn't heard. It was felt. And when it acted, it was already too late to stop. In a world of noise, Musashi remains a whisper that cuts deeper than any shout. If something in you feels different now, subscribe and stay close.